Hello, everyone. I'm sure you and your loved ones are safe and secure amidst the pandemic. Always wear your mask. As discussed in this leadership series, we will talk about four sports personalities to start with and discuss three unique qualities of each one of them. This will be discussed over a period of 12 weeks. Let's now start with the first episode. Let's play.
Gone. 3 wickets have fallen. Yes, hands in the air. It's gone through. What an innings. What a day for Bangladeshi cricket.
This time he might find the man on the line. Yes, he does. And Sri Lanka. And there you are. Somber dressing room. The Bangladeshis are delighted, as you would see. They're shaking each other's hands.
We always long for cricket World Cups as a country, right? One World Cup that we would all like to forget is the 2007 World Cup that was held in West Indies. This was a time when Bangla Tigers and the Lankan Lions tamed the Indians and broke 1 billion hearts. There was a lot of ruckus that was created back at home and heads were slaughtered to roll. Amidst all this, the game also had to evolve to add in a lot of excitement and cut in the time. Probably people wanted entertainment of cricket within 3 hours. And here comes T20 World Cup 2007. Just to take a step back, where did this originate? Credit should go to Max Cricket, introduced by Martin Crowe, which was then over a period of time adopted by the old Blighties. Started with what is called as a T20 blast. Too much of storytelling. Let's come to what we are trying to solve for here. After a heavy loss in the 2007 World Cup, the seniors in the Indian cricket team took a step back and opted to rest. The team wanted a leader who can take the youngsters along, bring the best out of them on a world platform and succeed. The choice was to appoint Mahi as captain. It was not easy. The tour was supposed to happen in South Africa in tougher pitches. And who were his opponents from Sena countries? Who were those captains? South Africa was captained by Graham Smith. Ricky Ponting was captaining Australia. Paul Collingwood, who went on to win a World Cup later, captained England. And Daniel Vettori captained New Zealand. All veterans. Here comes our man, who is under tremendous pressure personally and professionally. If you remember, he scored 0 in both the matches against Bangladesh and Sri Lanka in the 2007 World Cup. So beyond proving himself as a leader, he has to prove himself as a player. That's the context under which Dhoni enters 2007 World Cup. Here are two insights that I could pick from the 2007 World Cup, and let's begin with viewing those two videos.
He hits India for Pakistan, and he misses by a big way. Here's Uthappa. He hit. Missed it. India have won, and have a look at the celebrations. Strike. In the air, Srijan takes it! India win! Unbelievable! A massive success. India, the world TT champions.
That was one hell of a memory, right, folks? What do you think? All these things happened by chance? Or is it hard work, passion? Or is it on the foot thinking? Or is it sheer luck? Let's hear from the man himself.
There was something very particular about that T20 World Cup. Bowl out was one of the things, and before that we have never practiced bowl out. So what we did as a team was, whenever we went for practice, we said to start the practice off, we'll have a bowl out, whether it's before the warm-up or after the warm-up, because we may need, or there may come a situation where we may have to do a bowl out session, after a game if it's a tie. And we said, it's very clear, yes, it is for fun, but at the same time, whoever hits the wicket most number of times, they will be the ones who will be used if the situation arises. You know, it has nothing to do with I am a bowler, this is my job, I will do it. I was like, no, again, it's like a performance thing. We'll keep doing it every day, and whoever has the best hit ratio will be the ones who will be used.
Wow, wasn't that insightful? I think there were many takeaways from those two video clips. By now, you must have guessed what could be one important leadership takeout from there. Personally, I felt anticipation is probably what stood out for me. There were multiple events that unfolded before this World Cup, which we discussed earlier. MS had to prove himself, and all these challenges could have meant he could have just gone ahead with a go out and hit out strategy. But here is a leader who paid attention to all the details and proactively anticipated a bowl out scenario to happen in a World Cup. Does a good leader stop here? No, he doesn't. He ensures that anticipation is converted into practice that should lead into performance, right? So there were situations created on a daily basis where the team practiced a bowl out. Unusual bowlers were used in the training. So everybody had an opportunity to go and play the bowl out. Whoever hit the maximum were declared the winners. And that probably helped us to take a decision when it mattered the most. He also anticipated a bowler always looks at the wicketkeeper to assess what length to bowl. If you look at this match, Dhoni stood right behind the stumps, whereas Kamran Akmal was standing besides it. A very sharp anticipation to see how will a bowler think. And eventually, what was the result? In spite Pakistan having the best bowlers, they lost it and India won. Let's now take into the scenario 2. Johinder Sharma was asked to bowl the final over, and when this happened, Misbah-ul-Haq was at strike, full in form, and there was a possibility, there were experienced bowlers available, there was a possibility that this result could have gone anyway. Maybe people thought it was a chance, a sheer luck, or just that Dhoni wanted to try someone. No, there's a history behind it if you go back. Dhoni anticipated that there could always be a tense scenario in final where you need people who have got a cool head to handle the pressure situation. And also he felt if there is a bowler who's holding a poker face, who doesn't share his or show his emotions, will be able to handle the pressure much better than anyone else. Does that stop there? You can't execute all this in the final, right? You anticipated an event like this to happen. There was a match between India-Australia before the final. Dhoni used the same combination of RP Singh and Johinder Sharma to bowl the last over, and eventually India did win that match also. Now here comes the final. He repeats the same. As a good leader, he anticipated this to happen. He practiced this in the previous match, and the performance just took care of itself. Wow, those were really insightful lessons for me on anticipation.
Finishes off in style. India lift the World Cup after 28 years. The parties start in the dressing room, and it's an Indian captain who's been absolutely magnificent in the night of the final.
Applying what we have seen so far to both our personal and professional life, it is imperative as leaders we anticipate. This is often an underrated and probably an ignored leadership quality too. Leaders who have created value have always anticipated better and have consistently delivered. Should we look at some examples? Let's pick up Elon Musk from Tesla, disrupting the EV world. Steve Jobs of Apple, with sheer focus and not doing too many things and focusing on few, disrupted the world with iPhone. Jeff Bezos and Jack Ma created e-commerce disruption. While there are many other examples, some of them back at home could be, say, Azim Premji, who moved from Vanaspati to IT. What an anticipation. Vijay Sharma of Paytm, who created digital disruption for the country. Again, an anticipation clearly amplified out here. For me, someone who anticipated a lot for this country and succeeded every time is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Now let's go back and ask some questions to see as to how does this all finally summarize. Where do you see yourself with anticipation as a leadership quality? Look at people around you both personally and professionally who do this well. Is there anything that you could learn from them? What has been your moment of glory when you have anticipated? Do you also think venture capitalists are better at anticipation? And as the famous Henry Ford once said, you can't ask a horse carriage owner if he needs a car. Sometimes customer may not have all the answers. We would need to anticipate. Do you agree? With that, thanks for patiently listening into my first episode. Let's catch up again in my next episode. Bye for now.